Let's talk about hydration. At birth, our bodies are comprised of 80% water, and by the time we die, it's about 60%. So staying hydrated and having enough water in our system is so critical for our system to function, for all of our cells, especially for our digestive system to keep moving, for our fascia, our connective tissue, to be able to slide and glide and do its proper job, as well as for our colon to keep moving, for our skin to be healthy, and just for our water and hydration and chemical balance within our system. We have to be hydrated. It makes such a huge, huge difference. Interesting fact, our adipose cells, our fat cells, cannot do the chemical process of releasing fat without water. So our body has to be well enough hydrated that we've got extra water available, or else those cells simply cannot do the process of releasing fat. Now let's talk about the fascinating process of our kidneys. Kidneys filter our blood. So all the liquid that's flowing through our bloodstream goes to the kidneys, and the kidneys are in charge of collecting out basically toxins or waste. They collect out anything that's dirty in the blood that needs to get released in a liquid form. So the kidneys take the dirty liquid from the blood and collect it. There's a little filter it goes through, they collect it, and then it goes down to the bladder and then gets released out of the body. So all urine that gets released out of the body was just barely in the blood. Holy cow! That sure makes for a new motivation to drink enough liquid that your urine comes out in a lighter color and not real intense, because we want to be able to flush out anything dirty in the blood or any cell waste, metabolic waste, etc. from the blood and get it out of the body as soon as it can, because we want our blood to be nice and clean. The first time I learned that created enough motivation inside me to want to stay hydrated so that my body could stay clean on the inside. Because get this, the kidneys are also in charge of maintaining blood volume. If the volume of our blood that's currently circulating throughout our system, the quantity became too low, our blood pressure would change, all kinds of things would change. So the kidneys have the assignment of maintaining our blood volume, which means as they're bringing all the blood circulates to the kidneys pull out anything dirty and then send the rest of the liquid on to circulate through the whole body again. And if our blood volume is too low, the kidneys literally filter out the dirty stuff and then go, oh, we don't have enough volume. We got to put it all back in and send it around again, because if we take it out, the volume's going to get too low. So if we're not hydrated enough, our kidneys can't do their job of cleaning out waste out of our bloodstream, and it has to get sent back into the bloodstream to just keep circulating, just keep going around and around until there's enough liquid that the kidneys can extract and clean out stuff without the blood volume getting too low. Plus, it gets better, get this, our brain is floating in cerebral spinal fluid, and so is our spine. Our spinal column is a tube filled up with this liquid of our cerebral spinal fluid, and that liquid goes up into the brain, and our brain floats in it so that it doesn't have to rest on the bony structures of the skull. So our brain is always floating in this liquid. And you guessed it, our body is really prioritizes keeping that liquid really clean, but the same thing happens. If our kidneys can't keep cleaning out, like, you bet, let me just clean this out. Anything dirty in the liquid of our body, I'm gonna remove it from the body and get rid of it. And if we don't have enough volume of liquid, our brain is gonna be floating in some not premium clean liquid, plus our blood, the liquid that's circulating throughout our whole body, is gonna not be premium clean. So staying hydrated is so important, because we want to be able to clean out anything that's not clean and get it out of the body so that our blood is clean and happy. Okay, so that is my main message. That changed my life when I heard it. I was like, I know. I know my reason for wanting to stay hydrated. I want to have clean blood and clean cerebral spinal fluid. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. So how much to drink a day? A cool recommendation that you could experiment with and see how it feels for you is 1 ounce for every pound that you weigh, which is a lot. So if you weigh 100 pounds, that's 100 ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's 150 ounces. And you might say, well, I don't know, that seems like so much, but try it and see for yourself. A minimum in order for your skin to be healthy and your colon to be healthy would be 3/4 of that. So if you weigh 100 pounds, that would be 75 ounces, so 75%. Okay, and here's the thing. Our body gets used to whatever we're doing, whatever it's been doing, and whatever it's been around. So if you've been at 50% hydration, you probably feel horrible. So let's maybe use a different one. If you've been at 65% hydration, you probably feel sluggish, tired, not great, constipated at times. Muscles feel weird, not fully recover easily. But your body, if it's been at 65% on a scale, we'll just use the whole screen. If it's been at 65%, it'll kind of like dawdle around that area and try to like maintain that. It's like, that's my home, that's what I'm used to. That's where I was at yesterday, so that's kind of like what I work on. The body's really good at maintaining homeostasis, but if it's been hanging out in a certain area, it'll kind of just get used to it. So you have to get fully hydrated in order for your body to go, oh, 100% is what you want me to go for. Okay, let me work on maintaining that. And it takes a while. So if you've been below 100% or below 95% hydrated, you'll need to drink a lot of water, and for a while. It'll take a couple weeks for your body's regulating adaptations to get used to 95% hydrated. And during that time, you will pee a lot as well, because the body is like adjusting and getting used to it. Your thirst mechanism, everything's getting adapted. So give it a couple weeks and just know that you're gonna go to the bathroom a lot, and that's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it to have a clean body. So, okay. So there's that. So staying hydrated is you're gonna need to go up to full hydration and just work at it for at least 2 to 3 weeks before the body gets pretty good at being like, oh, gotcha. We are gonna move our normal state up to here, and this is what we're gonna work on. And then you'll urinate less often, and it won't feel as much as like, holy cow, I'm just drinking so much water forever and ever. It'll feel more normal to drink that much and maintain that hydration level. So that's also very important day to day, because if you spend time, you're like, okay, 3 weeks, I'm 100 pounds, I'm gonna drink 100 ounces every day, and wow, it feels like crazy amount of water to drink, and I'm going to the bathroom all the time. And after 3 weeks, my body has adapted and it's adjusted, my skin looks better, I feel better, I have more energy. But then you go for a couple days of not drinking very much, and then a couple days of drinking a bit more, and then it'll adjust, it'll fluctuate. And in fact, even just day to day, if you wake up at 65% and you go until 10 a.m. before you drink a little bit, like if you don't get hydrated at the beginning, whatever you are at the beginning of the day, the body will kind of be used to for that day. So we want to get hydrated first thing in the morning to tell our body, hey team, we want to be hydrated. This is our goal for the day, to maintain 95%, not work at maintaining 65%. So you want to get hydrated at the beginning of the day to communicate that, because the body will kind of adjust to whatever we're doing. A couple other interesting things about hydration is the thirst mechanism. So if you feel kind of a dry mouth, like, ooh, have kind of a dry mouth, or I feel thirst, I'm thirsty, I want to get some water. It's a delayed response. So when the body starts to get dehydrated, that thirst mechanism doesn't kick in for a while. So if you ever feel thirsty, you are already dehydrated and have been for quite a while, probably a couple hours. You actually never want to feel thirsty. You want to always stay ahead of that so that thirst doesn't happen. You never get that low. So when do we lose a lot of our hydration from all the water we've drunk? During sweating, so sports or any situation where you're sweating a lot, as well as sleep. We lose a lot of hydration while sleeping through breath as well as perspiration. So basically, we always wake up dehydrated. Everyone. Every morning, everyone is dehydrated. So I recommend drinking a lot as soon as you wake up to get back to hydration as well, and also to set your set point for the day higher. Communicate to your body what your goal is. Plus, how do you feel when you're dehydrated? Groggy, tired, slow moving physically, slow moving mentally, not at full capacity. And so we wake up dehydrated, so that's going to be there. Some of the grogginess is going to be from dehydration. And if we don't get hydrated quickly, we're going to be prolonging our dehydration grogginess. So the sooner you can drink water and get hydrated, the sooner we can get out of whatever amount of grogginess is from dehydration. So here is my favorite way to help myself stay hydrated. And it is 20 ounces within 20 minutes of waking up. Because we're going to be dehydrated every single morning. So the sooner you can drink water, the sooner you're going to get out of dehydration. You'll need to drink quite a lot of water to get up to hydration. And we want to do it first thing in the morning so that we get out of that groggy dehydration state, and also to help communicate to our body that we want it to maintain a high hydration level instead of a low one. As well as you just need to drink a lot if you're going to get there anyway. And so starting from the get-go, as soon as you wake up, is a good way to do it. So that tip alone has improved the quality of my life. Doing 20 ounces within 20 minutes of waking up has increased my energy, my hydration level overall across the day, across the year, decreased unnecessary eating because thirst and hunger can feel pretty similar. And if someone's dehydrated, they often will feel munchy. They'll often feel like, I need something. And that the first thing that'll come to mind usually is food of some kind, when actually they're just dehydrated and they need water. And it's also improved my hydration for energy work. Muscle testing requires being hydrated. If you're not hydrated, you can get inconsistent answers. So the 20 ounces within 20 minutes of waking up has helped me in lots of areas of my life, and also helped me be able to get hydrated. I find that if we don't start in the morning, it's hard to catch up, and you don't want to wake up a lot at night needing to go to the bathroom. So you want to try and drink all of your water, or most of your water, at the first half of the day on the front end. So I recommend trying that out. 20 ounces within 20 minutes of waking up for several weeks, months. Do it forever and see what improvements that makes for you in your life. Okay, a couple other tips about hydration is that our body absorbs room temperature water faster than cold water. Cold water actually requires our body to burn calories to bring it to room temperature before it can get absorbed. Also, sipping water is a superpower. Aside from the beginning of the day where I just chug a lot of water until I get, for however long it takes until I get well hydrated, from there on I focus on sipping water. Your body will absorb a larger amount of the water you drink when it's sipped versus chugging. If you chug a whole gallon at once, not all of it's going to be optimally absorbed, most likely. But if you are drinking a little bit of water every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, at least every hour, you're going to have a better chance of the quantity that you drink getting fully absorbed and not just going right through you. When talking about hydration, it's also really important to talk about caffeine. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it's going to tell the system to push out extra water more than it would in its natural regulating state. So if caffeine is going to be consumed, you kind of need to drink double. So if you drink 8 ounces of coffee or a caffeinated beverage, that kind of counts as negative. So you need to drink another cup of water just to cancel that out. And it could be considered to actually drink double of that. If you're gonna have 8 ounces of coffee, to have 16 ounces of water to help combat the diuretic effect. And so that wouldn't be counted into your daily ounces. So if you're 100 pounds and you have a cup of coffee or caffeine, then we'll need to drink 8 ounces of caffeine, 16 ounces of water, and then also drink 100 ounces of water outside of that. And last of all, one of the best ways to get hydrated is produce, nature's water. Fruits and vegetables that are high in water content are phenomenal because they are a really great pH. They've got lots of other fantastic things available in them. Our body absorbs and utilizes them very well. And in addition to that, herbal teas. Similar thing because they've got awesome pH and awesome goodness in them. So what is my recommendation for getting well hydrated? drinking only water and herbal teas, and produce high in water content. And utilizing that tip, 20 ounces within 20 minutes of waking up. Thanks for joining me today to talk about hydration. Hydration makes such a huge impact on every function within our system and our mind, and therefore our life. So happy hydrating, everyone. I'll talk to you next time.